we just had Travis Kelce on, and I talked to him about the top 10 list that tops the top 100 players of 2021 list that the NFL Network has been counting down, as voted by peers. And we're now down to the final 10. And after Green Bay takes on the Buffalo Bills on Saturday, which you can watch live on NFL Network at 1 Eastern time, once that's over, it's the reveal of the top 10 players of 2021 as voted by the peers on NFL Network. And the final 10 in alphabetical order as Instagrammed out by my colleagues at NFL Network. Davante Adams of the Packers. Josh Allen of the Bills has made it into the top 10. Tom Brady, I've heard of him.
Yeah.
Aaron Donald, Derrick Henry, whose photograph they chose because it is just just honestly, the guy looks at you and he's like, I'll give him 2,000 yards for the look. He's got the 2,000-yard stare.
Yeah, you don't want that smoke.
DeAndre Hopkins, Travis Kelce, and Mahomes. Interestingly enough, Kelce's first before Mahomes.
Alphabetically.
Right there,
yeah.
alphabetically.
Yeah, okay, before
and
him.
I just was having fun with him. Just what if Mahomes comes before Kelce on this list? Just that you hear him named and Kelce's the first, is the last chief in. That would be amazing. Unlikely. Aaron Rodgers and TJ Watt. Those are the 10 remaining. So TJ Watt has made it into the top 10, as has Josh Allen, man. And with Kelce, again, Kelce, what he has made of himself,
Top
what he has
10,
done,
man.
like I just mentioned, this new re-emphasis or emphasis on taunting. Back in the day, when Kelce was a young pup coming out of Cincinnati, this emphasis was for folks like him. And he is just a whole different ball of wax. A raw talent now, a top talent, top 10 talent, and on a Hall of Fame trajectory in the Pro Football Hall of Fame trajectory in the National Football League. Incredible. You said, why don't I...
yeah, just since
I'll do it.
We know who the 10 are.
I have written it down. I've created this is how I see the top 10 players being based on all that. Thank you for the musical accompaniment, sir. Gets me in the mood. Number 10 on my list is going to be TJ Watt. Okay. I'm going to put the Steeler right there. I'm going to say to TJ that he deserves to be top 10. He's just going to be number 10 on my list, and I would look forward to him being a Defensive Player of the Year and being even higher than 10th on the list. He's new to this list, 10th overall. I'll give him that.
TJ.
Thank you very much. And then with Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady and Mahomes on this list, I'm going to put Josh Allen here. Again, this is the first. I mean, what he did last year was incredible. He was on one of my fantasy teams. It was an absolute pleasure and delight. I can only imagine what fans in Western New York think and feel about him. And as I said last year, he's coming for your soul. He is coming for your soul. And when he rolls out of the pocket, he's like the Mandalorian quarterback. He is on a mission, and he is the one, and he is terrific. But again, we only saw it from him once last year. Let's see what he can do this year. Now we're coming down to who is the best at your position.
Okay.
Because there's a couple of receivers, there's a handful of more quarterbacks remaining,
yeah.
And so I am going to say Davante Adams goes here. Number 8 overall, and he makes the case that he's the best receiver in the league, and you could absolutely believe that. Yeah. But I'm going to just make this part of the pecking order that he is the second best receiver in the top 10, and he's the third best pass catcher, because as we said after talking to Travis Kelce, when you call a tight end a pass catcher, that means he can catch more and amass more yards than wide receivers, which is what he did last year. And this is where I'm putting Travis Kelce 7th on the list on my top 10 for the top 100 players of 2021. I'm putting Kilotrav 87, number 7 on this list. And as much as I'd love to hear Mahomes' name before his on NFL Network on Saturday, I don't believe that's going to be the case. Even he pointed out that would be bananas. We'll put him right there at number 7. And then number 6, I just think his abilities at this position makes him number 1. And Davante Adams has every reason to bang the table and pound his chest to say he's the best receiver in the league. I could totally agree with that, but I'll just agree to disagree in this case, and it's DeAndre Hopkins. The guy is unbelievable, and we are showing him grabbing and bringing down the Hail Murray right now. Those are 3 defenders around him, and his hands are vice-like. Yeah. His catch radius is pterodactyl-like. His feet are ballet nimble. I will never see somebody toe tap towards the boundary and not worry for a split second that both feet are in. It's every time.
Yeah.
It's a shock when it doesn't. So he's number 6.
It was a better catch by eye, as he said.
That's right. Better catch by eye. Now, here's your top 5.
Top 5. Let's go, Rich.
I now have 3 quarterbacks, a running back, and a grown-ass man on the defensive line. And I'm going to go with Tom Brady, number 5 right here. In case you think I'm biased, being a Michigan man, and TB12 is basically my guy. And he's my guy of the 3 guys I'm looking at over there. My son Cooper has now joined the crew with my cousins. His cousins Sam and Jack, my nephews, here for Zan's bar mitzvah this weekend. Shout out. I'll put TB12 right here, 5th overall. Okay. He is the GOAT. He is the greatest of all time. But I'm talking about players in the National Football League right now, and he is a worthy top 5 guy. But I'm gonna go with the MVP of last year above him, and then the MVP of the year before that, or 2 years before that, above him, right here. With all due respect, I say that second because I truly mean it. If you put it first, you don't really mean it.
But you mean this.
Right.
Yeah.
Number 4 is the guy who's stealing souls, and I think he's the best running back in the league. I think he's one of the best running backs we'll see of all time when it's all said and done. He's Derrick Henry of the Tennessee Titans. He's number 4. Just look at him. I mean, just every time you see him run the ball, it's just like, oh my, and the shot we have on the screen right here is a huge hole. I cannot imagine you're a linebacker with him coming through a huge hole. It's just like,
no.
Oh, no. He's the MVP of the Tennessee Titans. He is the guy that could be the MVP this year. I think with a 17th regular season game where we might see Eric Dickerson's record go down, and then we'll argue about asterisks and things like that. He's number 4 on my list. Number 3 on my list is last year's MVP. I'm going with Aaron Rodgers. So the first Aaron off the board in the top 5 is Rodgers, your MVP of the league. And then I'll just bang it out right here. Number 2.
Who
is
it,
Aaron Donald.
Oh, okay.
Number 2. I mean, stopping the run on the way to the quarterback is what Warren Sapp always told me is what you need to do from the middle of the line. Stop the run on the way to the quarterback. And sometimes Aaron Donald stops both, which is the running back who's attempting to chip him or block him, God forbid, for that running back, and then the quarterback. I mean, you've seen him tackle both. You've seen that. He's amazing. He is truly one of the best of all time.
He's a genetic freak.
And he's going to look great in a gold jacket. And I choose him number 2 overall because number 1 for me is Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
He's an incredibly special talent. This just in. As Berman would say, this just in. I go with Patrick Mahomes, number 1 overall. And everybody can argue. That's what a list like this is for. But that's my list. TJ Watt, Josh Allen, Davante Adams, 10-9-8. Travis Kelce, D-Hop, Tom Brady, 7-6-5. Then Derrick Henry, Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Donald, Patrick Mahomes, number 1 for me.
That's a solid list, and I mean, legitimately solid, not like the solid that we sometimes use.
As you know, I consider the word solid an unsatisfactory adjective for excellent.
But
that is not.
But I'm not taking
a downgrade.
Shots. I'm saying this is a solid list. You know, this is.
But again, I tell you, when people say to me, "Hey, Rich, that was solid," when you do someone a solid is much better than, "Hey, man, that was solid." Solid to me is not. It's not an adjective. It is not a word for excellent.
Well, I wouldn't say it's a good list. I just, you know, it's a. I dig your list. I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, I got no issues.
What would you change?
I mean, look, I don't know that
Would you put Adams over D-Hop?
That may be the only place that I'd switch them up. But other than that, I think you pretty much hit it. And like, look,
would you put Adams above Kelce?
I probably. That's a tough one. That when you gave those two, I think I might have to go Davante over Travis.
Okay,
but by the slightest of margins.
Would you put Rodgers and Mahomes over Brady?
I would.
Okay. Would you put Aaron Donald above Aaron Rodgers?
I believe that is the move.
Okay. Yeah. Would you? Who is your number one? Is it Mahomes?
I think you'd have to have Mahomes number one on this list. So, yeah, I think you did a great job with it.
See, why couldn't you have led with that and said that's solid?
But I
think you did a great job with it. Is much more complimentary than saying that's a solid list.
I told you, I said I'm using solid as a real compliment, not the way we generally tend to.
No, I know that's what you said. I appreciate that sort of caveat.
Yeah. So I just wanted to let you know that.
And you did not say with all due respect in leading into it. With all due respect, that's a solid list is truly fighting words for me.
No, I dig your list. And
thank you.
Yeah, it's going to be
TJ, that was a solid analysis of Rich's list.
Thank you. Thanks. And that's a solid one shot of you. That's a solid single shot of you, dude.
Look. It's my Garoppolo.
So silly, Garoppolo. So very silly. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.